When you park a 2027 Mercedes-Benz S-Class outside your home for the first time, there's a quiet realization that this is not a car built to impress for a season. It's built to live alongside you for years. Over months and routines, its presence blends into daily life. School runs in the morning, client meetings in the afternoon, late drives back home, weekend departures before sunrise. It doesn't demand attention at every stoplight. Instead, it earns trust through consistency. That has always been the S-Class position in the market. Not a momentary thrill, but a long-term companion designed to age with dignity. Living with this car begins in the cabin. Silver panels catch light subtly, but more than aesthetics, it's the composure of the space that defines the experience. The wood trim and brushed metal accents aren't there to shout luxury. They exist to provide tactile reassurance. Over time, you stop consciously noticing them, yet you continue to feel their solidity every time your hand rests on the console or door panel. Materials are not selected for immediate visual impact alone. They are engineered for durability, resisting wear and preserving structure after thousands of kilometers. That continuity is what separates temporary luxury from lasting ownership value. The driving experience reinforces that same philosophy. The 2027 S-Class doesn't chase performance statistics for headlines. The inline 6-mile hybrid engine delivers smooth, immediate acceleration, but the real achievement is composure. In dense traffic, highway merges, or long stretches of open road, the balance between engine response, suspension calibration, and steering weight feels cohesive. The car doesn't overwhelm with aggressiveness, nor does it feel detached. It responds predictably. You're not constantly managing inputs. Instead, it adapts fluidly to your rhythm. That subtle harmony becomes more meaningful over time than any raw acceleration number ever could. Technology in this iteration is similarly disciplined. The latest MBUX system is expansive, yet its strength lies in anticipation rather than spectacle. It learns preferred routes, tracks service intervals, integrates with connected home systems, and adjusts cabin settings based on environment and habits. The conversational AI assistant doesn't interrupt the experience. It supports it. After months of use, it feels less like a feature and more like infrastructure, always present, rarely intrusive, and increasingly intuitive. That integration reduces friction in daily life, which is ultimately what long-term ownership is about. Safety, too, operates in this proactive framework. The S-Class reads its surroundings through radar and camera networks that don't simply warn, they intervene smoothly. Over time, that predictability builds a form of psychological comfort. You begin to trust not only the engineering, but the consistency of its response. Mercedes' long-standing focus on durability reinforces that confidence. It's not just about passing safety tests. It's about preserving that capability year after year, without degradation in feel or function. Now pause for a moment and imagine a heavy rainstorm during rush hour, or a winter morning layered with ice. In those conditions, adaptive suspension and 4MATIC all-wheel drive aren't luxury features. They're stabilizing forces. They reduce tension. They make routine drives less mentally demanding. That's where ownership value quietly compounds, not in showroom demonstrations, but in unpredictable real-world conditions where the car performs without drama. The interior layout mirrors this long-term thinking. Controls are positioned for natural reach rather than theatrical presentation. Seats are engineered to minimize fatigue across long journeys, supporting posture without stiffness. Climate systems adjust subtly as external temperatures shift, often before you feel discomfort. Gesture and touchscreen controls, once learned, become extensions of habit rather than distractions. Over time, everything feels positioned exactly where it should be, not because it surprises you, but because it consistently makes sense. From a market perspective, this S-Class isn't competing to be the loudest performance sedan or the most disruptive electric statement. Its role is more restrained and deliberate. It represents stability, engineering maturity, and refinement shaped by decades of iteration. It appeals to someone who values continuity over novelty, a driver seeking composure in professional life, comfort for family, and retained value over years of ownership. Flash may attract attention, but consistency builds loyalty. Ownership also reveals itself in smaller decisions, selecting trim levels, balancing efficiency with performance, planning service intervals, choosing configurations that align with personal routines. The S-Class accommodates varied lifestyles without forcing compromise. Long highway commutes, city navigation, weekend travel, it adapts while preserving its identity. You don't feel like you sacrifice practicality for elegance. Instead, elegance becomes integrated into everyday function. So after several years, what does living with the 2027 S-Class actually feel like? It feels steady. It starts without hesitation. It responds calmly in complex traffic. It maintains comfort across long distances. Its materials age gracefully rather than deteriorate. It doesn't constantly announce its technology or capability. Instead, it demonstrates competence through repetition. And that is where its value truly lies. The S-Class isn't simply a luxury vehicle. It is a long-term partnership defined by reliability, refinement, and thoughtful engineering. For someone who values durability, composure, and real-world usability over fleeting excitement, that quiet confidence becomes far more meaningful than any headline specification ever could.